Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, hope you are well. So today I'm doing a brow tutorial for you guys. I've had quite a few people ask me to do one, so I thought now was a good time to do it. I've not actually shown you how I do my brows yet on my channel, so today's the day, guys. I'm basically going to show you how I do my brows every time I do my makeup. I like to have quite a strong brow. I just think because I'm a guy, I think I can't really go with a softer brow. I think I've just got to have that nice structured brow. That's just the way I feel. But yeah, just going to show you how to do my brows. So I like to start off using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pro palette. And I like to sort of mix and match with my shades. I take a MAC 266 brush, which is just a nice angled brush, and you can get it really thin, which is nice to get them edges like snatched. And then I like to sort of mix in between medium brown, the darker shade, and medium brown, because it's like a duo. So I like to get the darker shade in that and then a bit of dark brown also. Okay, so when I'm doing it, I see a lot of people do the brows like going in from below, but me personally I like to go in from the top, just because I can sort of pull up that way, and it means that I don't really end up creating any mess down here. So it just makes it much easier when we're going with our concealer later on. And I like to sort of have a bit of a damp brush, so what I'll do is I'll just damp it with a makeup wipe. And then I start off like halfway through my brow. I'll lay it down and then just pull up. And it sort of just deposits product in a nice straight line for you. Right, so once I've done it in the middle, I like to sort of bring it forwards, because towards the front of my brow, all I'm going to use is the powder. Whereas when it gets to the end, I'm going to switch to another product, which just gives me a bit more definition. So I'm going to bring it in now. Again, still pulling up. Some people might find it a bit weird to do it like this at first, but I promise you it just stops any mistakes from like being made, and it just helps your concealer look so much cleaner. So I find sometimes when you mess up on the bottom and then go and try and clean it up with concealer, your concealer can end up looking quite like grey and muddy, which I don't like that. Don't like that. I'm always making sure that I'm pushing my product through. And I'll just take it towards like where the front of my brow is. And then what I'll do is I'll just take that medium brown, and only that one. And I'm going to use this just in the front of my brow to sort of give like a nice gradient effect, like a nice fluffy sort of effect to my brow. And what I'll do is I'll change the angle of my brush, as in I'm going to pull it upwards, but on its side, if you know. That was the best way to explain that one. Okay. Like a flick your wrist. And I'm just going to pull it up, and this is going to sort of mimic brow hair. And don't worry if you mess up there, because we're going to brush through it. And I think using powders, I find it's the easiest way to sort of make the front of your brows look a bit softer, rather than making them look really harsh. So then I'm just going to wet my brush again. I always like to make sure I'm getting quite a wet brush. So taking that medium brown again, just taking them shades, and I'm just going to run this just over the top of my brow. And then what I'll do is I'll just take my brush with a little bit more product, and I'll just literally like run it through my brow, like smudge it through my brows. Just to make sure that we've not got any gaps. So then once I've done the front of my brows, I like to just take any brow gel. This is the NYX one, it's the NYX Control Freak one. I like this one because it's not like, it doesn't make my eyebrows crispy, but it still holds them in place, do you know what I mean? Whereas some people like that sort of really really stuck brow. Yeah, but I hate that if my eyebrows feel stuck, just because I like to be able to like move my face. I'm quite an expressive person, as you probably already know. And then what I'll do is I'll just brush just through where I put that product already, and what this is going to do, it's just going to help me blend that product through the brow, and it's also going to help me create the shape that I want to create towards the tail when I do go in with my next product. And I'm always making sure I'm brushing my brows up, and it just gives you that nice full brow effect. Alright, cool. Making sure I'm brushing that outer edge up nice. Just so then we can see right underneath it. We'll end up brushing it back downwards later on. Right, okay, so once I'm happy with the front of my brow, I like to sort of make my tail of my brow nice and like really defined. That's where I like to have nice drama to my brow. And to do that, I'm gonna add the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade medium brown. And I know everyone's heard of the Dip Brow. If you've not, where have you been? And I just like to take it on the same brush and just sort of warm it up on the back of my hand. I find when you warm it up on the back of your hand, you can get your brush really nice and thin, which is really going to help when we're creating that nice fleeky brow. So I'm just going to follow on just from where I've put the powder. And again, I'm always pulling up, just so that I don't make any mistakes. But if we do make mistakes, we've always got concealer, but I just like to try and eliminate any mistakes. And then I'm just going to make a start on the top of my tail, and I'm just basically just going to connect them up. And this is what I quite like about doing brows first. I find that if you do make any mistakes, you can sort of, with this product anyway, you can sort of just wipe it away and it sort of just disappears, just so you can start again. So you don't have to rely too much on your concealer. And then with whatever I've got left on my brush, I just like to sort of bring it just through the front of my brow, just so then I've got a bit more texture to my brow. I find that it gives a bit more dimension when I've got powder and then a bit of the pomade just over the top. Right, so once I'm happy with the shape that I've created, I just want to go and make it a bit more clean, a bit more fleeky. And I'm going to use my favourite concealer to do that. Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer, and this is in the shade 0.5. And I love this for cleaning up my brow, just because I can get it really like nice and like just a really neat line, just because of the texture of it. I'm going to take it on a MAC 242 brush, basically any flat brush, but I love this one because I can get it really nice and flat, which really helps when you're cutting your brow. And I like to coat it on both sides of my brush. And then again, I'll warm up the product on the back of my hand. And then I like to start just on my arch. And I basically just underline where I've put the product before. Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. Right, so what I've basically just done then, I've got a tiny bit in the brow, in the actual brow product, which I don't want to do. So what I'll do if I do that, dead simple, I'll just take the brush that I used for my brows, I'll dip it in a tiny bit of powder again, and I'll literally just go over where I've just got the concealer. So don't worry if you do make any mistake, because it's always fixable. Then I'm just going to take that flat brush and I'm just going to sort of soften the edges of my concealer. And then, just because I do like to blend the edges out of it, just because it does set, so I don't want it to set in this shape. I want it to like just flow into the other products that I put on. And I'm just going to take any blending brush. This is the Morphe E27 brush. I'm just going to go across the edges. And I find that adding that concealer really lifts your brow for you. It really like gives that lifted effect, which is nice. Right, okay, cool. So I think I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna go do my other brow off camera because you don't need to see it again. You can just rewind. So I just did my other brow and my full face, as you can probably tell. I actually recorded this look if you want to go and check it out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the brow tutorial on how to get your nice fleeky brows. By the way, I'm going to be doing my face routine, so like my foundation, my contour, pretty soon. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that. So that's why I've been missing out on the last few videos, just because I don't want to bore you. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see more of down below. And remember Mitchell, do not forget it.